To change the membrane, you remove the bottom door of the machine, turn off both of the valves, the main city water feed and the tank valve. When you turn off the main city feed, you'll notice it turns off the chrome switch. Then you remove the top door and the sign in the front. Turn off the main power switch. Then you can remove the reflector behind the light that disperses the light. You can also remove the light bulb if it makes it easier. In the back of the machine is a membrane housing. You loosen the top, clamp on the top of the membrane housing and remove it. Then you can remove the membrane housing cap on the top. Sometimes you need to pry it a little bit with a screwdriver. Be careful, it has an O-ring in it. You don't want to damage the O-ring. To remove the membrane, it looks like a wheel with spokes on it. You want to clamp one of the spokes with a pair of pliers and use a screwdriver to pry up a little bit, and that should make the membrane pop out easily. Notice the placement of the O-rings and the seals on the membrane housing end cap. When you put a new membrane in, you want to put a little tiny bit of Vaseline or food grade lubricant on both ends of the membrane and also on the seal. Make sure the seal goes in straight so that it doesn't bind or flip over backwards, and then push down firmly. Put a little bit of lubricant on the two O-rings. There's some in the very center and then a big O-ring on the outside, and replace the end cap. Then replace your end cap house or clamp. You want to tighten this clamp as tight as you can get it by hand, and then just a little bit more with a screwdriver or a pair of pliers. If you tighten it too tight, you might shear a pin. When you're done changing out the membrane, you turn on the main city water feed and the toggle switch on the bottom. Also turn on the main toggle switch in the top of the machine. Turn on the flow valve about halfway. When the pump comes on, you'll notice your flow gauge is running about 1.4 gallons per minute, and your pressure gauge is about 100 psi. In the top of the machine, the flow gauge should be running about 1 gallon per minute, and you should be zero pressure because you're flowing all the water out of the spout. You want to run the water for about 1 minute to make sure the new membrane is flushed out properly before you turn the tank valve on. Now turn your main tank valve back on. Open your flow valve so that the water can flush out. Run it for about 5 to 10 seconds to make sure all the bubbles are out of the system. Then you can replace your light diffuser and turn the main power switch on if it's not on already. Replace your front sign and top door. If you have any questions while you're doing this, be sure to call the 800 number. We always have customer service agents available to help you.